Welcome in. It is day 353, and you're speaking to the Meeple's Champion. And today we're going into another old school classic. This is another 1v1 game, and the game is called Battleships. Now, Battleships is an idea of you're going to have two of these plastic, almost looks like a laptop when it's shut, but you pop them up and you have a grid. And on this grid, you're going to have to place out a bunch of your ships. And then one by one, you and your opponents are going to be inputting your markers showing where you're attacking on your opponent's side, and you're going to be naming a spot. G8, H3, and your opponents have to go and place their markers down on their side and identify if it's a hit or not. You're going to keep going back and forth until eventually you've wiped out the entire fleet of your opponent. Now, these ships include big ships that are 5, 6 in a row, small ships of only 2 spaces. You all have the same fleet of ships, and you have the same rules that apply, which is you're not allowed to take ships off the board and change their places. You can't put ships on top of each other. You're trying your best to try and see if you can spread them out and hide from your opponent. Well, that's the basics. There's really not a lot to this game. It's simply shoot and hit. But why don't we jump in? Let's talk our 7 categories and see where this game lands for us. Now, when it comes to the art, this one falls to the exact same issue the last game did. The boxes for these are just a shot of the game. Maybe there's some newer boxes these days, but I looked them up and I just couldn't find anything that wasn't just that old school look. And to me, that's just not a good art. In the game itself, there is no art. It is just a large grid. So for me, the art is not good on this. Thumbs down. Your components. The components are fantastic. They hold up really well. I will say that the issue with the pegs, you have usually either white and black or white and red, one for the up top that you're showing for where you're attacking and one for the below showing where you've been attacked. And the problem with these is that they are very tiny and they're easy to lose. So you got to be really mindful of how you're storing them. Make sure you're not messing with the game too much, not letting your kids near it, because if it gets spread out on the floor, that's one of those games that things can just go missing. It's not a big deal if you lose a few, but you lose enough of them and you start having an issue playing. But overall, I think that the pegs are fine. The ships are great quality, and I like the large plastic, game board itself that you're playing on. It's a thumbs up. Your price. This game goes for about 20, maybe some of them play 30. The thing is that this ranges because there's smaller, there's bigger, there's a lot of versions. So if you're looking to get a huge version that's got great, components, you could pay the money and get it. But if you just want to drop, even like $10 to get just a little version of it, you can do that. This is even can be picked up as just getting it as a sheet of paper. They used to do this way back in the day in the booklets of a mark and write game. So there's ways to get this at different pricing, but I think the average game goes for about $25. And it's available still. You're finding this primarily in Targets these days. I don't think you're going to find it in Barnes & Noble. It's not going to be in most board game stores. You'll find it online. You'll find it in Target. For its price, for what it is, it's a thumbs up. Your difficulty. So to me, this is not for experts. And I don't even think it's for experienced. I think this is a game for kids. Beginners, maybe, but I think adults don't really lean this direction anymore, so a beginner who's trying to get into board games really doesn't want this game. I think this is a kid's game, and that back in the day when there were fewer choices, adults played it. And from that version, there's nostalgia for the reason you may want to play it, but if you're really getting into board games, I don't think this is going to hit for adults. So I think it's a kids only, which means for me, the difficulty, thumbs down. Keys to victory. The keys to victory aren't about how you attack, in my opinion. The keys to victory are how you place your ships. Are you going to take that chance and just line all your ships up together? Are you going to take that chance and you're going to spread them out? At the end of the day, it's just as much space that's open. It's kind of just the luck of if you got the hit or not. I don't feel there's very many keys to victory in this game. Thumbs down. Is the game unique? So the idea of taking these blind shots and attacking, I can't remember all the different names, but there are some newer games that have come out that do a lot more than the simple point and shoot, but they essentially are doing the same concept of this game. I want to say Captain Sonar is the 4 versus 4 game of being in your different ships and attacking each other from subs. I think that this game has been replicated in a far better way now. If you were into this game and you still played it today and then you went and saw one of those, I think the idea of feeling the experience of being in the water and fighting, that's what you're looking for. There are games that do it far better now. I don't think there's a game that does exactly what this does, but this game is not one about, I'm excited to say G1 and then hear you say hit. That's not what this game was. What you were excited about was trying to go out there and hunt down ships and fight in the water. And I think that the theme and the concept has been done in a much better way. And in that way, this just isn't unique anymore. So for me, thumbs down. Overall, what do I think? It was a great classic when I was a kid. And I'd have no issue playing this game today. But I don't own it. I don't want to own it. And it's not one that I recommend people just go throwing in collections. Get it for your kids. I think it's a great game for kids. It allows it so if you have 2 kids or a kid and a friend, that they can have a little game to go play and that should be easy. And that's fine. Even if you want to get a game to play with your kid so that you can feel like you're teaching them the basics of something, or they just may enjoy it, because I think this is a great game visually for kids. That being said, I think that if you're looking for a game for your game group or for you and some other adults, this is not one I would recommend. Well, it has been day 353, and we've been speaking about the game Battleships. And you've been speaking to the Meeple's champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description. I'll be adding an Amazon link in case you want to get this game for your collection. And don't forget to check me out on Board Game Arena under the Meeple's champion. Game request me, friend request me. I'm on a couple times a day. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.